everybody, welcome to Iconix Virtual Classes. My name is Kaitlyn. Today I'm joined with Tyler and Jake, and we're gonna do 15 minutes of some mobility and stretching. All you'll need today is a small towel and maybe 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, just something that you can elevate your hands on. We're gonna start standing today. First, just start with your feet about hip distance apart, toes facing forward. And take your arms really big overhead. Really reach away from the ground. You can lift your shoulders a little bit closer towards your ears. Find the length in your side body. From here, left hand will grab onto your right wrist. Imagine like you're pulling your right arm out of the socket. A gentle push of your hips over to the right and reach over to the left side. Make sure the shoulders are stacked on top of one another. Maybe a look over to the right. Hold it here for one more breath in. Now on your exhale, softly bend your knees. Continue that big circle with the right arm over to the left. And then we'll fold down through the middle with a big bend into the knees. Release both hands down to the floor, or you can take your blocks here on any levels or any platform that you can place your hands on, and then we're gonna start to pedal out the knees. Just bend into one knee, and then bend into the opposite. And switch and switch. You can take this at your own tempo, just really focusing on getting into the hamstrings. I'm sure as you really sit into that hip, you'll feel it deep into the hip socket as well. And we'll find ourselves back into center, bend into both knees. Release your hands from your blocks, maybe set them off to the side. Roll up really slow. Let your arms dangle down, let your chin tuck into your chest. Your head will be the very last thing to arrive at the top. When it does, roll your shoulders back. Do the same thing on the other side. Big inhale, reach your arms up. Maybe even look up to the ceiling. Reach your fingertips away from the ground. This time your right hand will grab onto your left wrist. Imagine like you're gonna pull that left arm out of the socket. Gentle push of your hips to the left and a big reach up and over towards the right. Stack the shoulders on top of one another. Maybe look under the left arm. Actively reach with the left fingers. One more deep breath in. Now as you exhale again, softly bend the knees. Continue that circle round through the spine. Bend the knees a lot as you fold down through the middle. Another really supported forward fold, a deep bend into the knees. Maybe you take your blocks again. Maybe this time you level down one, or maybe you take your hands down to the ground, but we continue to bend the knees one at a time. Just alternate that bend. Sit into that hip a little deeper this time. And come back into some stillness. Soft bend into the knees. Set your blocks out in front of you. And then from here, walk your hands forward into a downward facing dog. Keep your hips high. Press your hands away from your feet. Soft bend into your knees is always there for you. Lift your tailbone really high up towards the sky. Similar motion that we did in that forward fold, maybe a bend into one knee at a time, lift one heel at a time. Really working on those calves as you drive the heels down into the ground. And find some stillness. Look to your hands, softly lower your knees down to the ground for tabletop. Untuck your toes. Moving through some cat-cows. On your inhale, belly down, chest forward. Lift your tailbone, pull your heart through. And exhale, cat, round your spine. Tuck your chin into your chest. Push the floor away from you. Again, inhale forward for cow. And exhale, press it back for cat. Couple more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Last one. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Come back into a neutral spine. Grab hold of your blocks. Take them onto the highest setting. And step your right foot through between the blocks. And then as you push into the blocks, lift your chest up and then start to bend deeper into that front knee. It's okay if the knee comes a little bit past the front toes. Just do make sure that the pressure is into your right heel. Hold it here for an inhale. Lift the chest a little bit more. And hold it here for an exhale. From here, slide your left knee back just a little bit more so we can get deeper into the hips, deeper into the hip flexor on the left side. Allow the hips to sink down just a little bit more. From here, keep your right block on the floor, take your left arm up to the sky, and then take a big stretch over. Imagine like you're driving your left knee in towards the floor, reach up and over with the left fingers, hold it here for one more breath. Take your left hand back down to your block, moving into a half splits, straighten your right leg, shift your hips back. And the blocks are there for you. You can level down at all, you can bring your fingertips to the floor. Focus on a cow back, so roll the shoulders back, plug the shoulder blades in together. If you want to go deeper into this stretch, imagine like you're going to push your right heel down into the floor and then drag it back. Beautiful. From here, bend back into your right knee, walk your blocks forward, take your right block to the inside of your right foot, toe heel your right foot off to the side, and then sink a little bit deeper into those hips. As you press into your blocks, lift the chest, really allow your left hip to sink down. Going into a little bit of a twist, take your right arm up to the sky, and then reach it to the back wall. And then bring your right hand back to your block, circle it back around. Right block to the outside, toe heel the right foot back, and then we'll step the right knee back to meet the left. Same thing on the other side, step your left knee forward, finding just a 90-90 in the knees first, nothing too crazy. Bend a little deeper into the front knee. Again, it's okay if that knee comes a little bit past the toes, but make sure the pressure stays into the left heel. Roll the shoulders back, find the lift in your chest. And then getting a little deeper into it, slide your right knee back just slightly. Let the hips melt down a little bit more. Getting into our side stretch, left hand will stay on the block, take your right arm up, and then a big stretch over towards the left. Imagine like you're pressing your right knee into the ground, reach up and over with the right fingers. And from here, take your hand back to the block, half split, straighten out your left leg, shift your hips back. Adjust your blocks wherever they feel most comfortable under your hands. Finding some level hips here, left hip in line with the right. Flex the toes up towards your face. And if you want to go deeper into the stretch, press the left heel into the floor. Imagine like you're going to drag it back. Really breathe into that hamstring. Beautiful. Let's bend back into the left knee. Walk your blocks forward. Left block will come to the inside of your left foot. Toe heel the left foot out to the side. Let the hips sink down a little bit more. You can really find that cow chest, shoulders back, plugged into their sockets, open through your heart. And taking that twist, take your left arm up the sky, open your chest towards the left, and then reach the left arm back behind you. And circle it back around, left hand to the block, toe heel the left foot back to center, and then step your left knee. Getting a little bit into the shoulders here, take your knees out wide, adjust your blocks, a level down. Child's pose with your hands on the blocks. Maybe you take your forearms down, hips back to heels, rest your forehead down towards the floor. So allowing the shoulders to really open up, stay active in the arms, reach them towards the front of the room. And then slowly make your way back up. Plant your hands down to the ground, swing your legs out to the side, blocks behind you. And then grab onto your towel. If it's long enough, awesome. If not, you can grab the corners, get a little tug to make it a little bit longer. Take your legs out just as wide as your mat. Your right leg will stay out, bend your left knee, bring it into the inner thigh. From here, wrap your towel around the bottom of your right foot. Now again, we want to find that flat back, so rather than rounding, pull your heart through, lift your chest, relax your shoulders down. Maintain this flat back as you bend your elbows to guide yourself forward. You're gonna find that spot that's like, that's where I'm at today, and that's where you just hold and you breathe. Really feeling the stretch in the back of your hamstring. maybe into the calf, maybe even into the glutes and the low back. Hold it for one more breath in. And one more breath out. Slowly rise back up, unhook your towel, let's do the other side. Left leg out, right foot in. Take the towel around the bottom of the left foot. Square off your shoulders towards the leg. Find that flat back again. Roll shoulders behind you. Maintain that flat back as you bend your elbows to guide yourself down. Find that space where you can hold and just breathe. And slowly rise back up. Release the towel, set it off to the side. Take both legs out in front of you this time. Flex the toes up towards the face. A little shimmy of your hips side to side rather than the glutes tucking under the sit bones. You can take your hands and move that flesh out from under you. As much of a bend into your knees as you need is totally fine. Take a big inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, just fold over your legs. It's not so much about how far can I reach, but more so just finding a space that you can maintain some stillness and maintain the stretch. Beautiful, walk your hands in to sit yourself up tall. Bend your knees to scoot your hips forward and a very slow and controlled roll down to the ground. Imagine each vertebrae is releasing towards the floor at the top. Beautiful, arms to your sides. We'll find a figure four on the right side. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. From here, option to keep your left foot on the floor. You can gather your knees closer in towards your chest. You can wrap your hands around your thigh or your shin if that feels better. Flex the right toes to protect the knee. And then circle the left ankle around since it's free. We'll do the left ankle. Do your other ankle too. Beautiful. Make sure you go in both directions with that ankle. Beautiful. And gently lower your left foot back to the ground. Release your arms. Uncross the right leg. We'll do the other side. Cross left ankle over right thigh. And again, option to stay here with the right foot on the floor, or you can gather the knees a little closer in. Flex the left toes. Really guide the legs closer in with your arms, and maybe some circles around with the right foot this time. Imagine like there's a marker on your big toe and you're trying to make the biggest circle around that you can. Make sure to go in both directions if you haven't already. And then softly lower your right foot back to the ground. Uncross your left. Keep your knees bent. Take your feet out just as wide as your mat. So your pinkies should touch the edges of the mat. And then we're just gonna do some big windshield wipers with the knees, going side to side. No pace or rhythm that you have to move here. Just do whatever feels best for you. Allowing the low back to release. Do once more on each side. And then gather your knees into your chest. Keep your right knee in and extend your left leg all the way down to the ground. Interlace your hands around your right shin. Really guide the knee close towards your chest. At the same time, press the back of your left thigh into the floor. Flex the left toes up towards the face. Moving into a twist, take your right arm out to the side. And exhale as you twist and guide the right knee across your body over to the left. Work on stacking the hips on top of one another. Keep the right shoulder down on the floor. And if it feels okay in your neck, maybe look over towards your right. Move into a space where you can still breathe really easily, especially through the belly, but find a space that you can relax. And then when you're ready, unwind. Bring both knees in. Give them a squeeze so you can realign your hips and your low back. And then keep left knee in this time. Extend your right leg down. And again, be very active in this. Hold the left knee very tight towards your side body. At the same time, press the back of your right thigh into the floor. Flex the right toes up. And moving into that twist, take your left arm out to the side and guide the left knee across. We're going to work towards stacking the hips on top of one another. Keep the left shoulder on the floor. maybe look over to your left. Again, find a space that feels good. We don't want to force it. We don't want to push our bodies into a spot that doesn't feel great. So find a space where you can relax. And then when you're ready, unwind. Back to center, big squeeze in the middle. Bring your both knees in. And then getting some fun into this. Start to rock and roll forward and back a couple times, forward and back, until you find yourself up into a seated position. Beautiful. From here, take a big inhale, reach your arms up. Take your left hand down to the ground beside you, big stretch over. Actively press your right hip bone into the floor, reach up and over with the right fingers. Take another inhale. As you exhale, continue that circle around. Reach both arms out in front of you. Relax your forearms down towards the floor. Relax your head. Allow your chin to fall in towards your chest. Keep your hips on the floor. Allow the low back to round. And then walk your hands back in to sit up top. Take the opposite cross of your legs so the other shin will come in front. Another big breath in, reach up. And release your right arm down to the floor beside you. Stretch it over. Again, very active in the stretch. Push your left hip bone down towards the floor. Reach with the left fingers. And on your exhale breath, big circle around, just like we did on the other side. Reach both arms out in front of you. Maybe on this side, you can reach a little bit further out in front of you. Relax your head. Allow your hips to melt. And then walk your hands back in to sit up top. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll see you soon.